Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So I ended up bringing the Hellcat Magnum back to my garage just so I can finish up these final touches. I gotta wire up the doors. I gotta these airbag sensors, I gotta place them back in the spot because on the Magnums they don't have roof airbags, so we gotta make something work for that because it's gonna have that airbag light on. But I'm making this video just so if anybody out there is trying to build one of these, you're gonna know what to expect and what you're gonna run into, because when I was doing this there wasn't too much information out there. I was just going off of what people are saying. So first of all, this is not my car. This is somebody's car that is local. He brought me the car with the parts and I put it together for him. But when I was doing research, everybody was saying that how I was gonna have to fabricate the trans tunnel and I was gonna have to make things work through the firewall because the old body style is different. When I tell you everything literally just bolts right in, plug and play, like I didn't do nothing. So I was doing research, somebody said that on their Magnum they had to fabricate the firewall to make the brake booster fit, which is right over there. I'm not sure what year theirs were, but this here is a 2008, and everything just bolts right in. The you know, the brake booster to firewall, the brake lines, engine, trans, suspension, the trans bracket, the drive shaft, the rear suspension. I didn't fabricate nothing. It just bolted right into the frame. Even the core support. So the customer is doing a new charger front end. So obviously the Magnum core support has a different shape for the headlights. So I even installed this and you could tell that it bolts right in. Like nothing here was, you know, cut or welded to make it work. I mean, a few little things were different. Like the Magnum didn't have grounds, so we had to make our own little ground points right over there. What else can I remember? This over here, the way it mounts to the brake support and the rebar, you just have to literally bolt it right in. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I put one bolt over here and then one bolt over here just to hold this up with the shroud. On the other side, where the supercharger pump is, you just have to make three insertions right in the frame rail and then put a bolt with a nut holding it from the back to hold up the pump. And then right over here, you got 2 more screws. I mean, I could have used the rebar off the charger, but it wasn't available. But you can still make it work with this one. It's not too hard to do. All you gotta do is put 2 screws in there and 3 to hold up that pump. What else can I think of? So yeah, the suspension fit right in, the engine trans dropped right in, the rear suspension dropped right in. But I can remember that this over here, the filler neck was different, so we had to obviously use it off the new charger, but then you can't see it from here. But the way it mounts to the frame rail, the screw or the nut that holds it to the frame rail is different, so you just have to relocate it and it fits right into the gas tank. Even the exhaust drops right in. The Magnum comes with 1 cutout, so I had to cut out the bumper to fit up this other tailpipe. But I'm not sure if the customer is going to be changing this bumper or not, so that's going to be something I'm gonna leave up to him. So the interior, this is where it gets interesting. I think that's going to be it for the outside. Yep, that's pretty much it. The customer is going to have to change these fenders, so the fenders on the new one, the way they fit to the door are different, so he's going to have to cut it and weld it. That's going to be something his body shop is going to do. So the rear seats, on the Magnum, the way they lock over here is different than the Charger. So here's a Charger seat. I'm trying to hold this thing up. Okay. So these aren't gonna work. If I was gonna install these back here, they're not gonna work. So what I did was I'm gonna take these are off the Magnum, these are off the Charger. I'm having an upholstery guy take off, you know, the stitching and the cover off the Charger and put it on the Magnum, so it's gonna match the bottom. The bottom one fits. This one over here fits right in there, so that one's gonna work. But the back part of it is gonna be different, so they're gonna have to take all this stuff off and then just reuse it off the Charger one, so it's gonna match the bottom set, and then all that should work. I don't think these are gonna work because Magnums don't have this in the corners. It's gonna be just the seats in the back. But that's pretty much it for the seats. I still got to do some wiring. Let me get this out of the way. Wiring, so on the Chargers, you have a shelf over here. Obviously, Chargers are on the station wagon. So on the shelf, you got the speakers, which are located here on the Magnum, and you got your radio frequency hub, which I just tucked away inside of here. And we bolted it down so it's not gonna be rattling, but you just have to do some small work just to make things work, right? The pump and the tire pressure reading sensor are just in here. The chargers are located in the same place. I still gotta wire up the taillights. This is the plug for the taillight, and then here's the plug for the charger or the Magnum. I can't even reach it, it's tucked in there. But there is the camera. This is the rear view camera. I gotta see how I'm gonna make this work. I don't know if I'm gonna place it somewhere over here maybe, or somewhere up top where the third brake light is. But we got to make the camera work, or when he puts it in reverse, it's going to be just a blue screen. I still got to wire up the latch. Here is the plug that goes on the trunk of the charger. Here's a ground and a plug for the latch. Now if you see this one has 3 plugs or 3 pins and a ground. This one over here also has 3 pins, but the plug is different. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. This here is for the wiper motor. That's for the wiper motor. This is over here. This is for the latch. This one has 4 wires, but I think on these they don't have a separate ground like this one. So I just gotta look at the wire harness, look at the schematics. I just make this one work, and the plug's right in here. So all this is fed through here. It goes all the way down, and this is where I cut it from. So the colors that I'm looking for it down here, and then I'll just wire it. I don't know why this is stuck. Okay, I'm gonna wire this up to here so it's cleaner. I'm not gonna have wires running all the way up through the trunk and back to that harness. So that's pretty much it. I'm still waiting to get the new speakers so I can make the speakers work, because as of now the only speakers that work are the ones that are in the dash. So that's it for here. Let me close this up. I want to make sure it doesn't lock because I can't open it. Door harness, the plugs are different. So I already started on some of the wire harness. This plug, this is off the charger, it's way different than the one's off the Magnum. So you gotta sit there, you gotta check which one's which. Most importantly, obviously, you gotta make the window work and the locks work. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to make it work with the fob. Where's the fob? I'm trying to make it work with the fob, so the unlock and lock. But a lot of this stuff is different. I already mentioned that Magnums don't have roof airbags, so we gotta make something work so the light turns off on the dash. Let me close this up. I think he's gonna have to replace his door because the weld broke right over there. Okay, so for the dash also plugs and plays. You know, you gotta just literally drop it in. You got 2 10mm over here. You got 3 on each side, and then you got the ones up top, just like if you're doing any other swap. This plug here is for the rear view mirror, but the rear view mirror on the new ones doesn't fit on here. So I think we're just gonna have to leave this plug just the way it is. The car obviously starts up. All the SRT pages work. But he has a black key now, so he has to get the red key to get the 700 horsepower. The only light on the dash now is the airbag, because the seat isn't here, and then the seat belts are sent out to Safety Restore to get them done, and he's doing orange. So we're doing the orange theme to match the calipers, and I think he said he's painting this car in white. So here's the plugs for the door harnesses. I made sure to give me enough space so I can wire them. Here's the other one of the other harness, and I just gotta go through one by one and make that work. But what's cool is, even though, you know, this car is like 12 years separate, or 12 years difference from the new one to the old one, like a lot of this stuff fits really, really good. Let me show you the other side. So on this side I put the cover, but I'm still missing the one that goes on the pillar. But if you close the door, it's not that bad of a difference. I mean, obviously you're gonna have a little bit of space because the door panels are different, but it fits, you know, everything fits pretty good. The reason why the center console's over here is because I had to take off the center console, take off the carpet, because we're having it dyed in black. The original color was this. I do have some weather strips at the shop that are off a junk car we can just replace and put on this car. But the carpet and all the trim pieces, as well as the headliner, is gonna be done in black to match the rest of the car, because this beige doesn't go with anything. And that's pretty much it. So if you do one of these, really the only difficult part you're gonna run into is the harnesses. You got to sit there one by one, especially if you have like some kind of access to like a diagram. It's gonna give you a hard time because there's a lot of wires there, especially the ones in the front. Look how many wires are out there. There's at least probably 40 pins out there. So you got to sit there wire one by one. This over here is the one that goes to the headliner. Obviously on this one it's blank, so you can just leave this one the way it is unless you want to make these work. I gotta drop the headliner down just to make these lights work, and that's probably a couple wires alone. It's not too hard. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else is gonna fit. Oh, the seat. Let me show you something. The seat frame on the driver's side is the same, but on the passenger side, it doesn't mount from up top, it mounts from the bottom. So you gotta take the frame, the bottom part of the frame off the Magnum and put it on the charger that bolts right in. I have it at the shop. I should have took a video of it, but I forgot. But that's the only thing that you gotta do to the passenger seat to make it work, and it bolts right in. And obviously the harness is gonna be up the new charger harness, so you can just plug it right in. But this one works without an issue, and it just bolts right in from up top. But I don't know why the passenger one, they changed it and it comes up from the bottom, so it bolts like right over here somewhere. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. As you can see, I did get the 300 back from the paint shop. That thing looks like brand new again. We got the Trackhawk in the garage, and things are coming along pretty good. We're starting the wide body Hellcat Challenger build on Monday. Today's Sunday, so a lot of things are going to be coming along in the next couple weeks. Make sure you guys stay tuned. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you back on the next one.